from vitalitybyjenny.com, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about feeling full, and feeling full specifically on fat versus fruit. So I know that it's easier to feel full, or what we're used to feeling, we're used to saying is the feeling of being full on a fatty meal, something that's higher in fat than, say, fruit. And that many people, after they eat a meal of just fruit, feel like they are hungry again in less than an hour, and that it's hard to actually feel full on fruit. And so I wanted to go over this today and explain why this happens, and so that you can get a better idea of what to actually do to help you feel satisfied. So when you eat a high-fat meal, it is actually really hard for your body to digest. It takes a lot more of your body's energy and resources to actually digest that food compared to a meal of just fruit. When you eat a meal of just fruit, the reason that you're actually hungry again right away is because it's so incredibly easy to digest. In fact, it hardly takes any of our own body's energy to digest fruit when we eat it. It simply is already broken down into the simple sugars that our cells need for fuel. And so those sugars get absorbed and the nutrients get absorbed, and we're done with it. So this is actually an indicator that this is the right food for you. This is actually a good thing that you get hungry again after eating fruit. So, because it means that it's much easier to digest. So I understand that it's frustrating on one hand to not feel full, but I also want to keep it in your mind that not feeling full is actually a good thing, that it's because it's easier to digest. So, but there is a way that you can feel satiated for much longer than an hour on fruit, and that is simply to eat more of it. So you need to eat more bites of fruit in order to feel satiated like you would on a meal of fatty food. And so for me, this looks like eating 1,000 calories in bananas for breakfast. So that's 10 bananas. And that's more than most people have ever eaten in one day. But it's what keeps me feeling full and satiated and satisfied for 3 or 4 hours, until lunchtime hits again. I have to eat 10 bananas to actually feel satisfied until lunch. And that's your goal, is you want to eat enough fruit or high carb, low fat foods to make you feel satisfied until your next meal time. And so you're just going to keep experimenting with it until you figure out how much of which foods you need to eat to be able to achieve that goal. So have you ever had that experience of feeling full in your stomach, but still your body is still sending you signals that you need to eat? Well, that's because when you eat a fatty meal, or even anything that's relatively fatty, and it's hard on your system to digest, then it sits there in your stomach and making you feel full. But that means that you haven't eaten enough carbohydrates. So like I said, all of our cells in our body run off of simple sugars. And so all of those cells are still saying, we didn't get our sugar. We have not received what we need yet. So you need to eat more. You need to eat more of the right foods. And so all of a sudden you crave sweets, or just crave eating still, even though you're full. This really shows up on days like Thanksgiving, is where it is kind of exaggeratingly obvious when we've overeaten already so much, overgorged on all of these foods, all of these different foods for dinner, and then yet afterwards you feel so full, but you still are craving some of the desserts. And so you go and eat a dessert, and that's whenever you are finally done. That's when you're finally satisfied. That's because you didn't get enough carbohydrates throughout the meal, because Thanksgiving dinner is traditionally a high-fat, high-protein meal. And so at the end, your body's still saying, no, I need sugar. You may have eaten all this food, but I still need sugar. And so you go for the dessert, and then you're satisfied. So just to recap, simply keep in mind that fruits are incredibly easy to digest, and they also have less calories per bite, so you're going to be needing to eat more of them to feel full and satisfied in between meals. And it may take some getting used to not having the full sensation that we've come to think of as full after eating a fatty meal or a high protein meal, because that is really just a feeling of your body shutting down and saying, I need a break, I need to take some time to digest this food. that's not really the type of full feeling that you want to get. So it may take some time to change your idea of what feeling full and satisfied actually feels like. But once you do, you'll never go back. You'll never want that full feeling again, because it's actually a very tired, moody, disgusting feeling after you've been away from it for a while. So I hope that this helps explain the difference between feeling full on fat and feeling full on fruit, and why you feel so different with the two types of foods. And if you would like a free recipe ebook, then just visit my website, happysexyhealthy.net. The link should be below, and I look forward to seeing you there. All right, love you guys. Bye.